welcome back to the Burlesque Bulletin podcast. I'm your hostess with the mostess, Honey Holloway, and today we have another solo episode. That's right, it's just you and me, and potentially the possums that you might be able to hear in the background. I am filming and recording this, I should say, in my humble abode. I may or may not be on my bed, and I may or may not be in a Catherine Delish robe. You know, you never know. I may also be wearing a full face of makeup and my hair all done beautifully, because that's the fantasy, even though it's 9 o'clock at night. But just imagine that's what's happening right now, because this is an audio recording and we have no visuals today once again, because it's just you and me, just the way we like it. So I'm going to be honest with you all. The past few weeks have been a bit of a shit show. I've been super busy, Cam's been super busy, we haven't been able to record something and upload it in the time that we intended to. But that's okay, because we're rolling with the punches, we're making it work. So I had another idea for this solo episode, which I will do in the future, but I thought we'd do something fun today. We'd do something different, something unusual, you know? So if you have heard or watched any of the episodes and retained any information about me, you would know that I had an astrology podcast before this one. So I'm a big astrology fan. I used to do readings and stuff like that. I don't really do them anymore. You know, it was COVID times. It's a whole different world now, but I still love to reflect on astrology quite often and reflect on my chart and use it for a tool of self-reflection. So if you want to know any more about astrology or have astrology in any other podcasts, episodes I should say, then just let me know. But I assume most of you, at least know your sun sign. That's your zodiac sign or your horoscope. And perhaps because we're in 2024, you might know a little bit about your friends' signs or your partner's signs, or maybe a bit about all of the signs. So today, because it's October, we're going to do a little bit of a spooky episode, or a little bit of a witchy episode. And I thought we would do something fun and something that frankly hasn't been done before. And that's zodiac signs as burlesque dancers. So just a disclaimer before we start. Of course, I'm not a total professional. I am just an amateur astrologer, and this is just for a bit of fun. So don't get your knickers in a twist if I say something about your sign that you don't like. Because one, it's probably true, and two, there's probably a reason you're offended by it. But I say that as a Scorpio rising and Scorpio moon, and I get attacked for being a Scorpio all the time. So I know how it feels, so I won't be too mean. So we're going to start with Aries. So Aries is a fire sign. Aries is bold. Aries is sexy. Aries is usually in red leather or a full-on cat suit or cheetah suit. I feel like Aries performers always love a good surprise, love a good big moment. Maybe they'll do like a crazy splits 3/4 of the way through. Like they really want to surprise you and show off and like up everyone else and all the other performers, like secretly. Maybe not, like maybe they won't tell anyone. I mean, maybe they will, but they probably won't. But that's how they'll be feeling. They'll be like, this is a competition, even though we're just all here to have a fun time. Like secretly in their mind, it's a competition and they need to win. I feel like Aries, they want to be the first to do things as well. So they want to be pushing limits. They want to be doing things that potentially no one's done before or no one's brought to the area before. Just something fresh and crazy and new and fun. They also, not surprisingly, will probably have a fire act because that's just classic fire Aries energy. They just want to be hot while being hot. Like, that's just their goal, is to be sexy AF and make everyone love them. By the way, just to interrupt, if you also know your rising sign, you can listen for your rising sign, and that's fun as well, because sometimes we relate more to our rising sign, especially on stage and as a performer. Sometimes the rising sign can overpower the sun sign. So listen, and hopefully you relate to either one for your sun sign or one for your rising sign. Anyways, back to Taurus. So now Taurus. Taurus is an earth sign. It is the witchy goddess. So I feel like Taurus, I instantly think of green, obviously. Earth sign, witchiness, forest, nymph. I feel like Taurus is really sensual. Not so much sexual, but sensual. So I feel like Taurus would be also really like extravagant and have really like classic outfits or classic clothes, but it's more like maybe a boa or like some fans, like something classic and extravagant and like textural. Like they love the feel of things against their body. So definitely Taurus is one for the senses. So anything that feels nice would be the way to go for Taurus. It's also, for Taurus, I feel like more about their experience on stage and not so much about how the audience is perceiving them. Sometimes don't get me wrong, they love people watching them on stage and thinking they're beautiful and gorgeous and amazing, but also sometimes they're just there for themselves. You know, I suppose Taurus is known for being selfish, which I can say that because I'm a Taurus. But it's not bad selfish, okay? It's just, I'm thinking about me today. I'm thinking about me on stage, what I want to show to the world, what I want to portray. It's not so much about other people. It's just about me on stage, just feeling myself and loving myself. And it's a self-love act. That's what it is. Every Taurus act is a self-love act. And it's not really about anyone else. Sorry. I feel like if we go back to what I was saying before, as Taurus being the witchy goddess that she is, forest goddess, I feel like, you know, there would have to be some sort of forest act or like Mother Nature act. I feel like Taurus, if they're doing classic as well, it does have to be like extravagant and like, or like luxury, like lounging on a fluffy bed or like something like that. I feel like it's very Taurus vibes. Also, of course, it's stereotypical, but that's what we're here for. Taurus has to have an act that's to do with food, like whipped cream, I don't know, chocolate, cupcakes, or like just licking something, licking a shoulder or licking a glove or just anything with the mouth. I feel like that's Taurus's vibe. And I can attribute to this because I have a habit of sticking my tongue out like way too much in my acts. So I really need to stop doing that because I would, like, it's fine, but I would like not all my photos to have a tongue out. Like, I don't want to be Miley Cyrus 2014 or whatever it was. I just don't want to be like that. Anyways, moving on to Gemini. So Gemini is an air sign. So I feel like their acts would have to have some sort of a storyline. It would have to be maybe even like from a movie or something, or a show or something, but also maybe just they're trying to tell a story through their acts. I feel like also Gemini just wants to be seen as being like a bit of an intellectual. So they would probably do maybe like a historical act or something where like these are the facts, but it's also sexy, you know? I feel like that's classic Gemini energy. And I feel like they just want to educate you because they kind of want you, again, to realize how smart they are and how many random facts that they know about random things. Like, they want you to know. I feel like Geminis also are like, one act might be one thing and then another act might be completely the opposite. Like, very classic opposite energy, Gemini energy. I feel like, I can't remember who did it, but there's an act where she is Morticia Addams, but she's also Gomez Addams. I mean, I feel like that's such Gemini energy. I mean, maybe a little bit Libra, but, you know, it's the one person. So I feel like that is classic Gemini energy. Okay, I just had to go find out that performer who does this routine. I wonder if she's a Gemini. I mean, it does kind of give off Cancer energy as well, like the relationship, or like Libra. So it could be all of the above. But her name is Miss Chrissy Kiss. So if you have seen that act, let me know what you think. Otherwise, if you haven't, you should go have a look on her Instagram or check out her act because it's awesome anyways. But moving on. And then we've got Cancer. So as I was saying before, I feel like, you know, the Morticia and Gomez Addams act could also be a little bit Cancer vibes because we all know how much they love and they love being in a relationship and they love that home family life. And if they love that, they want to express it. And where is good to express yourself? On stage. So that could be some Cancer vibes, but I feel like Cancer is maybe more emotional per se. Maybe instead of something like the Addams Family act, I feel like it would be maybe a classic 1950s act, starting off in the kitchen and baking a cake or something, and then your husband comes home and then you decide it's time and then you murder him because you found out that he was cheating on you. You know, storyline, but also love, family, emotions. I feel like that's kind of Cancer. That's like the brutal depths of Cancer and their trauma. I feel like Cancer could also have a bath act. I feel like that would be really like luxurious and like self-care vibes. I feel like Cancers, a lot of people don't realize this, but Cancers are hilarious. Like, it's unexpected, but I don't know if it's all the like the hidden trauma and like the external hard shell and the soft gooey insides, like a crab, of course, but they just surprise you and are like, here's my comedy stylings. So I feel like Cancer would add comedy to the act, or maybe do comedy and do burlesque, or just make it super hysterical and super funny. I feel like also Cancer is sometimes like a secret freak, like like they could be wearing something super cute and sweet on top and then randomly take it off and they're wearing a full leather outfit with pleasers. Like, they just are so unexpected, but in the most amazing way. And only in the bedroom, only with their partner, only with you, their audience. I feel like they'd be okay with showing their deepest, darkest fantasies on the stage, you know? Okay, now Leo. The classic performer star sign. Now, obviously, Leo is a fire sign. And unlike Aries, I feel like Leo is a little bit more put together, I would say. Aries, don't come for me. Because Aries is the baby. Aries is chaotic energy. It is a fire sign, but it's a little bit more chaotic, where Leo is just a little bit more composed. The fire is there, but it is burning at a rate that is nice for everyone and bright and beautiful, where, I mean, I feel like Aries sometimes is like, bleh, but in a good way, okay? But Leo is just shining bright in the middle of the stage, loves the audience, loves the attention, loves eyeing the audience and making love to the audience with their gaze. I feel like if someone wasn't paying attention during a Leo act, they would probably just come and stare them down, or like throw their phone away, or like do something a little bit like chaotic, because you're not watching their beautiful act that they put their heart and soul into. So you can just go in the bin. That's how they're going to feel about you. So definitely don't do that at a Leo show, or just anyone's show in general, because I will chuck you out myself, okay? That's really rude. You've got to pay attention. So I feel like the classic Leo energy would be like a full red outfit, or just like a bold, bright color. And also gold. I feel like gold or silver, like something royal, like that's very Leo energy, to just be like sparkly and bright. And I'm here, bitches. I am the center of attention right now and all the time. So yeah, just being extravagant. It's all about them. I feel like also Leo would be like love theater and love musical vibes. So I feel like anything from a musical, or anything like specifically like classic, I think, like, but extravagant classic, if that makes sense. Diamonds, sparkles, feathers, fans, very old Hollywood. And I feel like Leos always have a really signature act, like whether it be like about their name or something, or just something that's like really all about them. And I feel like I should rewind, because that's a little bit Aries energy as well, like having a signature act about maybe your name, if it's like, I don't know, emeralds, crystal, and then you have emerald and crystals on your outfit, like something like that. That's very like particular and very you. And so moving on to Virgo. So Virgo is an earth sign, and I feel like, yes, Virgos do love a bit of a earthy act sometimes, but I feel like they need to tick the boxes. They need to make things pretty perfect. It needs to be a high quality act. And so I feel like that might be leaning towards classic, leaning towards old Hollywood, very like typical burlesque vibes, because they want to tick the boxes. They want to make it right. They want to make it beautiful. Because yes, Taurus does want to make it aesthetically pleasing, but Virgo needs to make it aesthetically pleasing. Otherwise, it's just not going to work. I feel like Virgos are also maybe like already really good dancers. Like they've done dance their whole life and they like got really good at it, and then they got into burlesque and they're like, yes, I can be fabulous. I've had all this training and I've got the knowledge, I've got the expertise, like I can really do this and do it well. Because Virgos don't do things half-assed. They do it and they do it well. Dare I say, they do it perfectly. I feel like Virgos are always really thinking about their act as well and how it's going to be portrayed. I feel like they would choose colors that really complement each other. It wouldn't necessarily be, I love this color, or I love these two colors together. It would be what looks good and what is pleasing to the eye and what are people going to think goes together nice and smoothly, you know? I feel like Virgos would also want to surprise people a little bit, because I feel like sometimes they've got a little teensy bit of an insecurity of being what people think, even though they try to be exactly what people want or what they think people want, because they're trying to be perfect. I feel like they would just have a bit of a breaking point, or a point where they're like, fuck it, I'm going to do something crazy and I'm going to do something out of the box, and like that's going to surprise people, but in a good way, because then they can see like how perfect I am, because I'm versatile. And if you want perfect, you're going to get it, because I can do anything. That's Virgo vibes. And Libra. So I feel like most of the burlesque dancers I know are Libras, because Libra is all about the pretty things. It's all about the aesthetics. It's also about the relationship that they have with the audience, and even with other dancers, but mostly with the audience. And I feel like Libras would love to have a duo act, like especially something if it was like a partner, or like, you know, something romantic. That would be like definitely a really nice Libra vibe. But also dealing with the duality, like of themselves, or of life in general, or of just performance. I feel like they would want to do something the opposite of their last act, or just something different to show that they are, again, versatile. I feel like Libras always do really like cute acts, like they're just really adorable, or like bold colors, bold and bright colors. So like Libra is like pink, classic pink, bright pink, sparkly, just something beautiful. Oh, actually, I thought of oh my God, wait, I think Citrine Velveteen is a Libra. I think she is. The beautiful act she did in the pink sparkly suit, oh my God, with the mannequin. Oh my God, that's such Libra energy. Like the relationship between her and this mannequin, like that relationship, and pink and sparkly, such Libra energy. I love it. I also think, just randomly, because Libra is all about balance. So I feel like if they want to branch out, maybe they could do like a balancing act, or like be a contortionist, like something like that. I feel like Libra would really like slay at, because yeah, it's all about balance. And especially if it's like with another person as well, like that relationship and performing and balance, like that is just all the archetypes of Libra. Okay, now Scorpio. So as I said before, I am a Scorpio rising and Scorpio moon, and honestly half my chart is in Scorpio, which is concerning. But anyways, Scorpio, I feel like, you know, the typical thing people think about when they think of Scorpio is like Halloween, blood, gore, spooky stuff, witchy stuff. But you know what? I mean, they're all right with that. Definitely, like, I love a Halloween act and anything like that. I love. But I feel like most people don't realize, but Scorpios really love, or not so much love, they hate it, but they feel like they have to show their trauma through their creativity. So that can manifest in many different ways. But I feel like they need their acts to have just deeper, and have a different level of perhaps authenticity, or like a deeper meaning, or a deeper story. So I feel like Scorpios would be the perfect person to showcase their creativity and their trauma in an environment that is under their control and is a safe space. I feel like that is like just perfect for Scorpio. Also just to show their power as well and their healing, and kind of like a phoenix rising from the ashes. It's like I'm owning my trauma and I'm showing it to the world, and you don't have any control or power over me anymore because I have control and I'm showing it to everyone. Like that kind of vibe, you know? Like especially, I mean, this is probably too much, but the people who know about astrology, please message me if you think I'm right about this. But the people specifically who maybe have like 5th house Scorpio, or especially like sun in 5th house Scorpio, just something to do with Leo and the creativity and the expression mixed with the trauma, mixed with the I've got to show this, I've got to get this out of me, I've got to put it on stage. Like I feel like that's the vibes. Anyways, I got way too deep with Scorpio, which classic. Also, of course, I feel like Scorpio would be dominatrix vibes on stage, or like just in full leather vibes, you know, with a whip, with a chain, anything like that is Scorpio vibes. Now Sagittarius. So I feel like something's coming to mind specifically, and I know this person is a Scorpio, but if they're a Scorpio, I'm feeling like their moon might be Sag, or like they might have a strong Sag placement, or they might have been just going through a Sag time when they did this solo. But anyways, it is Mystical Allure. If you haven't seen her latest solo, I believe the act is called Human. If you go check that out on the Bombshell Burlesque Academy's YouTube channel, or it might be on Mystical Allure's Instagram or her page as well, go check that out, because that is like Sagittarius energy. It's like mysterious, and go watch the video before I talk about it, because otherwise I'm going to give spoilers, okay? There was a twist in there that was amazing, and you need to go watch it before I give the spoilers, okay? Okay, you better be back and have watched it and know what I mean. But don't you think that's just Sagittarius vibes? Like her just being like all mystical and like subtle, but then stepping out and being a freaking fawn. Like, are you kidding? That is such Sagittarius energy, and I feel like it really makes you think. Like Sagittarius, you know, it's not about the little things, it's about the big things, and like the big meanings and the big thoughts. And I feel like also, you know, it is a fire sign, but, you know, when I think about Sagittarius, I think about mountains, I think about travel, like exploring, like the big wide world. I feel like, you know, Mother Nature, like the big expansive things, I think about Sagittarius. And so I feel like when Sagittarius does the act, it's like it's got to mean something, but not in like a deep personal way like Scorpio or Cancer. I feel like it just needs to say something. And maybe it's like political. I feel like that's actually perfect. Sagittarius needs to have a political act where it says something, it has meaning, and it's like it's changing the world. That's how I feel about Sagittarius acts. I feel like also I think about like being crazy, being wild, not so much crazy, but being wild. Like I feel like a wild animal or something. That's how I see Sagittarius. So I feel like something like being an animal, or like a moth, or like butterfly, like the transformation, but in an intellectual way, or in the way that you see the world, like not in an emotional way. Does that make sense? I don't know if that makes sense, but Sagittarius is a hard one to pin down. It's one of my most difficult signs to explain, because you can't, it's just the energy that Sagittarius is. It's like, yes, it is a fire sign, but I love this description of it. It's a fire sign, but it's also so airy. It's about thoughts, and it's like, what's those lanterns? Like the lanterns that you put a fire, like a candle or something in the middle, and then it's like a balloon. It's like a hot air balloon, but a little one. Or maybe just a hot air balloon is a good example as well. So it's like, it's fiery energy, but it's igniting air. So it's igniting thoughts, and it's expanding the mind. It's going higher than any other thing. It's looking down upon the earth, and it's like breathing the earth in, but it's seeing it from a higher plane. Does that make sense? Probably not. But I feel like that's the energy of Sagittarius, is like not being able to pin them down. They're just doing crazy shit. They're coming back from their travels and putting something on stage, and you just being like, I don't understand it, but it's cool. Or I do understand it, and it's like so philosophical. Anyways, that's enough about Sagittarius. I'm not good at Sagittarius. Oh, actually, one more thing. I feel like Sagittarius would weirdly like do a flip at the end of, like, especially like a Burlesque act. Like I feel like masculine Sagittarius energy is a little bit different. I feel like I could be wrong. I feel like Eggs and Ham has Sagittarius vibes. He could also be an Aries because he does give like that fire vibe, but he gives like a little bit of like chaos, but fun chaos energy. So I feel like he could be a Sagittarius, but I could be wrong. He might have a secret Sagittarius placement somewhere that's pretty strong. Okay, Capricorn. Another earth sign. Capricorn's another tricky one, I feel like. I feel like I instantly think of, power suit. Like, maybe not too many sparkles, but just like boss bitch power suit energy. Here to fuck you up. Maybe a little bit of like a dominatrix vibe going on, business on the outside with the suit. And then underneath, oh look, we're wearing some leather. We may also have a whip or something like that. Might be wearing some glasses for some like business librarian energy. I feel like librarian energy is also a little bit Cancer too. And like teacher energy is Cancer. So, but Capricorn and Cancer are opposite signs. They're very similar, but opposite, if that makes sense. It does in astrology terms, don't worry. I feel like Capricorns are also just like so good at standing in their power and like knowing their boundaries. So they're just like a really strong presence on stage. And maybe they don't necessarily have to do anything like super crazy to get the audience attention. It's just like, they're just hot. They're just hot, and they're demanding your attention, but in like a subtle way. And in a way that's like, if you don't, you're going to get in trouble. Like, I feel like they'd be really good at eye contact and just commanding an audience to pay attention. I feel like, I don't know how, but Capricorns always want to be the best in like a subtle way. Like, they don't seem like they're trying too hard, but like they are. And you can see that through the perfection of their routines and their acts, but also their skills. Like, their skills will be really perfected, whatever it is. And Aquarius. I feel like Aquarius on stage would just be a little bit cray-cray. But in a way that's not like Aries, I'm doing crazy things on stage. It's like, you've never seen this act before. It's a little bit weird, but it's also wonderful. Like, of course, they're going to do an alien act or a mythical creature act. Like something that's just a whole next level of weirdness and wonderfulness. I feel like also they might be, actually I feel like this is Virgo too, they might be a little bit like nerdy and do like a D&D act or like a super specific theme act. I feel like that's very Virgo and also Aquarius energy. Just something different, something unusual. By the way, just saying that, I feel like Cancer, I'm just thinking of so many good ones for other ones I've already said, but I feel like Cancer would be classic for that, for the Kath and Kim act. I feel like that's just perfect. Anyways, back to Aquarius. So Aquarius is an air sign, but it is the water bearer, and it gets very confusing when people find out this information about Aquarius. But the sign Aquarius is associated with invention and the internet, funnily enough, and anything that is on like a, not the astral plane, but the plane between Earth and whatever the heck is out there, aka internet, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth. That is all represented by Aquarius. So I instantly think that Aquarius is just really good at social media. Like they, to me, are like entrepreneur, especially if they have a lot of Capricorn energy as well, or like Leo energy. They will be amazing at Instagram or like just promoting themselves, being on TikTok, all the platforms. They're going to be really good at it because they know for some reason how to work the internet. And Aquarius is all about, funnily enough, community and connection in that way. And so that's a perfect representation of community and connection, but in this next level weird way, which is the internet. They also will be really great at engaging with their followers and their audience members. They might have that amazing stare as well when they're on stage. They're just really good with people in general, and not so, like they would still be good one-on-one, but they love people and they love community. And that's just like the Aquarius vibe. So they might also be really great at just getting in the community and connecting with everyone, and maybe doing some kittening, some vixening, helping out backstage, like that sort of thing. Also, just blue. Like, I feel like blue colors are classic Aquarius. And finally, last but not least, because we don't want to say they're least, because they will cry, it's Pisces. Now, Pisces are actually perfect for being burlesque dancers or performers. And you wouldn't think so because, like, you know, you save that for Leo. But Pisces is all about imagination and also emotions. It's a water sign, of course. So Pisces would have just a great time delving into the depths of their soul and their emotions to bring a beautiful act to life. I feel like Pisces also have to start with music. Like, they have to feel what they're doing. They can't just start with concept or something. Like, they could, but it just would not work as well as starting with a song that you love and just makes you feel all types of ways. That's how, like, their imagination and their passion truly is ignited through music. So I feel like they have to start with a song. And I think that's all I've got for tonight. I did not think this episode was going to be as long as it is, but I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you've had a bit of a fun time and learnt more about astrology, learnt more about the signs, learnt more about yourself. And now you have to, maybe you related to some specific signs, so you have to go Google what your chart is now and your moon and your rising sign, because you related to some of the other ones. In the meantime, if you loved this episode, give it a like, give it a subscribe on the YouTube channel, and something else on Spotify. I don't know. Do what you got to do, what you have to do. I promise next fortnight we will have a new episode for you with a guest. It won't be me, sad face. We'll have more solos in the future if that's something that you enjoy. But it's just a little bit awkward for me because, I'm a Scorpio moon. Don't like to talk about my feelings or anything else. Don't like it to be about me, except when I'm on stage, Thank you so much again. I really appreciate everyone listening. And if you made it this far, go and comment a chili emoji on something on the Instagram, and I will send you a little gift. And if you know someone who likes burlesque, loves burlesque, is even curious about burlesque, send them one of these videos. And share it with your friends, share it with your fam, share it with your grandma if she likes this sort of thing. I don't know. Take her to a show. But share the love, and hopefully we will get the YouTube up to 100 subscribers, because we have 2.5, almost 3K on one video at the moment. But most people are not subscribed, which is super annoying. So you need to go do that. Because once we get up to 100 subscribers on YouTube, we might be doing a little giveaway. And when I say little giveaway, I mean a massive giveaway. So you definitely do not want to miss this, because, oh my God, I want to enter because I need to win all these freaking amazing prizes and gifts. Anyways, so go do that. Stay tuned. I will see you next fortnight. Bye.